Harvard?
Yeah, because he was a science fiction writer.
True.
Before he was some sort of deity to people.
Yeah, he still is a science fiction writer.
Is he alive?
No.
Okay,
He must be
because
dead.
I'm like, he can't be writing. He's dead.
Yeah,
Straight up dead.
but it's always been science fiction
True.
with that guy. But yo, we're here, man.
Yes, we are.
Yo, thank you for coming on here.
Of course.
This is so funny, man. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been way too long. I think the last time I saw you was in on Jason Street in the truck on the way to work or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Super early in the morning. Yeah, you were walking down the street at 5 a.m. or something, or maybe 6 a.m.
Yeah,
just finishing a shoot, I think, or something.
Yeah, no, it was work back then.
Yeah.
Back then I was actually no, I think I was on the way to shoot. Nah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But this is Cale Grossman. Is it Grossman Sounds on your Instagram? What is that?
It should be Grossman Sounds. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either Grossman Sounds on that's what it should be, but it could be Grossman Music on other platforms.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
Hey, let me see your mic for a second. Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cardioid.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, you know exactly what that's about.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just forgot and I didn't realize it wasn't faced the right way.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So now we got it.
Sick. Okay. So you're a rapper. You are a rapper.
Yeah.
Not a former rapper.
Yeah.
And graphic designer.
Yeah. First and foremost now, I guess.
First and foremost, graphic design?
Well, I'd like to think so, yeah. Like, I'm going to get into music, but right now it seems like, first off, graphic design will pay the bills.
True.
And the way I was doing it with music, like I said, probably wouldn't end up paying the bills because I wasn't treating it like a business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're really good.
Thanks.
You shouldn't stop.
Sometimes I don't know if some people are just saying it or,
No,
but yeah.
you're actually, because I've said it many times. I say it all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, no,
You're
I
actually
appreciate that.
really good.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever stop, but I used to just kind of just be all about like, oh, it's my dream to do this and that.
Yeah.
But in reality, I wasn't putting in the work to say it was my dream. And
True.
and I had all the supplies and the ability to do what I needed to do. It was never held down by anything, but it was just my own laziness that got in my way, I guess.
True.
Yeah.
True. That's actually it's a good topic.
Oh, laziness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overcoming it more so.
Well, I didn't overcome it. I just kind of stopped because I realized, right?
Yeah.
So I overcame it in the sense of graphic design now, where I feel like I'm doing way better than I thought I ever would.
True.
Because I was out of school for 5 or 6 years, didn't graduate high school, and got my GED, and then went to George Brown. And first years, it was just really hard catching up to everybody else, sort of, and getting back in the flow of school.
Yeah, of course.
And now my grades are pretty damn good, but they could be better. But some classes I get a 91 or 92.
True.
But some other class, I don't know, I'll focus on one class more than the other, which I shouldn't do, but
Yeah.
it tends to happen. But I'm doing way better than I thought I would, and I guess I overcame that laziness. But not really. Even when I want to get back into music, I feel, I don't know, maybe it's just I feel like it's a passion, but normally people say, well, if it's really your passion, you'd be working day and night to do what you need to do. So maybe it's not really my passion.
True.
But I do love doing it. But so far, it just unfortunately hasn't shown the funds to be able to
True.
So it's just not a way that I can support myself to live. But it's definitely something I'll always continue to do. But I'm just hoping that, I don't know, it's mostly just the funds issue.
Yeah.
And it costs money to record, but I never really ask for money back from people.
It's really cool that you're self-aware enough to be maybe it's not my passion.
Well, yeah. I feel I love doing it, right? But if it was, then there would be rain, sleet, or snow. I'd be out there doing what I need to do, right?
True.
I guess at least that's what I hear from the people who grind really hard. So I just take it for granted, I guess.
True. That's true. Because it seems like you had a natural talent for it.
Yeah, and that's the problem, though, is people
Right?
say it's just natural talent doesn't trump hard work, and it never will.
Yeah.
And hard work always trumps talent.
Yeah. True.
And so I find that unfortunate in some senses, but not really, because if you're too lazy to do what you need to do, then you're not going to get exposed to do what you're doing. You know what I mean? If you didn't put yourself to this, what I think is a ridiculous number, but you're going to kill it.
The obscene number.
Yeah, that's the word I use, the obscene number of 1,000. But when you gave me the reasoning behind it, I started seeing why and how it would push you forward to do what you needed to do.
Yeah.
So I guess it's just that insight that I didn't have before that I do now. But I don't know. I'm still a bit negative about things, or pessimistic, I guess, in the sense of things where like I'll still tell myself like maybe I won't work as hard on the rap as I would with other things.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know, man.
It's balancing it. Like same thing. I wanted to get into game design, but then I'm like, do I want to keep it as a hobby or do I want to be really annoyed by it and never want to touch a game again? You know?
Yeah.
And so the same thing happened with me for rap, sort of, where I'm like, but that's what you have to do if you really want to make it in whatever you're doing, I guess.
Yeah.
Then like it's no longer really your hobby. It's no longer anything that you could like. Yeah, you're gonna like what you're doing because it's something you're good at or something that you progress at. But in the end of the day, it's gonna be a job and it's gonna be grueling to get through if you want to make it anywhere. Not anywhere, but if you want to make it to like star status in the things that you do, then.
Exactly.
Unless everybody's lying and they didn't really practice all those times. Like every time I see a biography or anything on anybody, you know, they practice day in and day out, you know? Unless they're all lying, which I doubt that they are. But some people say that that's not true, but that's far and few between.
Yeah, it's crazy that you actually say that. Because I was actually just, like I told you, I was on the phone with that executive before. And she was talking about that exact thing. She's like, when you take something that you're good at, and all of a sudden you go after it and you make it like the thing that makes you money. Yeah, it loses all that. Like you can't go to it for that same refuge, that same creative refuge that you used to.
Yeah, I feel like
it becomes a job almost.
Yeah, of course it becomes a job, but in the same sense, maybe it's just we didn't prepare ourselves to realize that that's what it's always going to be and always should be, and you know, like treat it with respect. Yeah. If you want to make it something that's truly special to you and other people, then you have to give the respect and the time that it deserves. Yeah. Not the time that you're creative. Like as a graphic designer, people think like, oh, like, you know, like I can't just be like, you got to wait 3 weeks and then I'll be creative. Like,
no, of course not.
Yeah. It's the same thing goes with everything though. When people are like, I don't feel like writing a song. How do I get myself to write a song? How do I get myself to, you know, write an entire song or a hook or this and that? Yeah. And it's just like, well, you're asking the wrong person because you should just be doing it. Don't ask, just start doing it. Yeah. And I guess the more you do it, is like as much as you need the outside help and guidance from people, it's not anything that you can't find on your own on Google nowadays, right? Right. So, but I feel like a lot of people use it as a scapegoat to like be like, well, I asked this person. I do it myself all the time. That's why I have such insight with it, I feel. Is because I'll be like, oh, I asked them, and they didn't tell me, so I don't need to find out. You know, like, it's all up to them to tell me. Yeah. But in reality, like, I finally grew, like, in school at least, to be, like, asking what I can change about these things. Yeah, exactly. To make myself better. Yeah. Where people are just, some people won't even go that length. And they're like, oh, I got this. That's bullshit. I'm like, well, why don't you, like, ask why you got it? You know? Exactly. Like maybe it wasn't bullshit and they have a complete real rationale as to why you didn't do what you should have done, et cetera, et cetera. But a lot of people, I don't know, that's the problem with anything in the art culture, I guess. But like, that's a whole other topic where I feel like art isn't anything. But a lot of people do.
You feel like art isn't anything? Yeah. What do you feel? You feel like it's nothing?
Like I feel like, no, not like, but I just don't feel like it can be anything. Like I can look at this tripod or this camera, and obviously it's designed with art in mind nowadays.
Of course, yeah.
You know? And but like I can't look at a painting and assume that what is a soup can by Andy Warhol is something that I can appreciate as art opposed to somebody else who does it. Like, why? Just the name behind it? Is it because someone told you to like it? Like, I just don't see everything to be art, and like that it's just so subjective. When I don't think it should be. It shouldn't be too subjective. It's like, is this art or not? Like so? Like art as a definition, sure, that's cool. It can be an emotion. It can be how you feel about a thing. But like art as in a physical piece or a physical aspect to me is like when you call yourself somebody in the art field. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the avant-garde in the sense of like that, where there'll be like Shia LaBeouf sitting in his theater watching his own movies for 40 hours, you know? Like, that's super avant-garde, and people call that art. But I don't see any art in that.
Are people calling that art?
Yeah. People have called it. It's like an example of one of those just like, I forget what they're called, but it's like a...
I've never heard of that.
Sort of like a display thing.
Yeah, I guess it's like an installation.
Yeah, one of those. You know what I mean? Sort of like a...
You walk into a room.
play on an art installation. Where I feel like some of them are dope, like what's her name's Infinity Mirrors, right? Couldn't get tickets to that though, because everybody's just like, but whatever. I saw the pictures. I guess I'll be fine without it. You only get like 30 seconds in a room, I heard anyway.
Yeah, but I was gonna take mushrooms and jump in there.
Yeah, that would have been dope as shit. But I don't think I would have been like able to get out of the rooms. They'd be like, leave, and I'd be like, and no.
Yeah.
You know, and then like security.
Like, why? This is my room as much as it is yours.
Yeah, you'd be like putting flowers in their rifles. You know, peace, dude.
There'd be 1,000,000 rifles all around you.
Yeah,
that'd be so cool.
I don't know if that'd be cool, but it'd be something.
But yeah, that's true about art. It is subjective. And I guess it can't be anything, but it can be. Well,
no, people can argue it because everybody's got a different definition. Everyone's got a different belief of things. So I'm not saying I'm right, but it's just my view on things. So,
like if somebody took this tripod, and put it in a room, would that be art?
They could pass it off as art for sure. The things people pass off as art is ridiculous. Like people love Off-White. I don't know if you know them, the clothing brand.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I don't get it. Like they do apparently, but
it's Off-White.
Stapling a belt to a pair of pants and then rationalizing it like the way Virgil Abloh does. Like I've watched his rationales.
I've never seen what you're talking about.
Either way, like he'll go on YouTube basically as a TED Talk, I think it was, and I think Brandon told me about it, and I watched it, and I just couldn't stand the amount of bullshit that was coming out of his mouth. As that, like, he's an architect, he's a smart guy, but to give the rationales he gave behind these designs was just complete bullshit, in my opinion.
Is this the stuff?
Yes, this is the stuff, and it's a huge trend right now, from what I know, and it sells for a lot of money. But I've never been into, like, I'm not a fashion guy, so I can't say anything. Like, as a fashion piece, sure, like, I can't tell you what's good and what isn't, because my sense of fashion is probably ugly as shit. And I just like no name brand, black, white, gray, normal, like what I'm wearing. Like, you know, like, I don't really care for a brand name on anything.
I usually go for sweatpants.
Yeah, I have two recently too. But unfortunately those sweatpants have American Eagle like somewhere on them, you know, and I'm like, damn it. I didn't even notice them when I bought them.
Walmart, bro.
Yeah. But I wanted ones with fucking zippers, because that was my huge problem with sweatpants. Like, I never really got them. And why most sweatpants don't have zippers, when it's seriously like the cause of everyone probably losing their phone in a cab or something like that.
Okay, I see what this stuff is. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's like regular stuff. I don't know. It's not like...
it's like this stuff is all regular stuff, right? But it's become a movement. It's not about the clothing anymore. I feel like it's become like, I can associate with you. I see you with a Supreme shirt. I know that your interests sort of align with mine, and we can get along, right? Yeah. And so that's what I feel clothing is nowadays, where it seems to be more of a communicator than it is a fashion piece, or like something that's supposed to be pretty or good looking. It's supposed to communicate rather than, maybe it always has. Like, I'm not into the fashion industry, like I said.
Yeah.
But as a graphic designer, when I see some things that are like, these aren't ugly by any means.
It's like
I think it's all fine. It all looks good. I wouldn't wear it, but there's nothing ugly to me about it. It's maybe a bit garish here and there, and, you know, looks like it stands out. But I just didn't like the rationales he gave behind when I saw him speak about it, and that kind of just led me to believe that all of this was just thrown together and just kind of like taking advantage of the people who are easily influenced.
That's true.
So, but that's like every clothing company nowadays. And there's a lot of people like, I don't know if it's American Eagle. I don't want to say that it is, because I don't remember the company, but I remember seeing on Reddit pretty much like every month there would be like, this store just ripped off my design and put it on all their t-shirts. What do I do?
And it's like nothing.
And it's like Urban Planet has like, you know, it's like, you know how they just have like the random slogans written out, or it's like, you know, just like those things that are stolen from designers every day. And like, I guess, I don't know. I don't mind it.
I'm gonna make a clothing company.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do it up.
I'm gonna put it out right now. I'm gonna make one.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What is it?
And it's gonna be standardless clothing.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna make a joke here, and you're gonna be like, it's gonna be somewhat off black.
No. I'm gonna tell everybody, just like Donald Trump told everybody he'd be president, and how he would do it. I'm telling everybody right now. I'm gonna start a clothing company, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet a lot of creatives.
Yeah.
And they're all gonna know how to do things.
Yeah.
With video.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna make some really tearjerker ads,
Is that what you want? You want that's the tone you want? Like, you know, for 100%? You want tear jerking?
I said Sarah McLachlan.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In the arms of an angel or whatever, yeah.
With the that's the regular song that you see in back when they used to have the infomercials.
Yeah.
The African kids.
Mm-hmm.
Flies on their face.
Yeah. And this guy's just like, I'm completely hygienic. Donate to these people. And he's just like, why don't you donate? You're right there. You seem like you're living pretty good. This guy's like in a full suit.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, why don't you dress down a bit?
It's very weird what we used to accept on TV.
Oh, yeah, man. But that House Hippo commercial, I used to think House Hippos were real. I was so disappointed when I found out they weren't. If you remember it. They were like little.
I do.
Yeah.
You're crazy.
Yeah, of course I was. I was like 6 or something.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. This is whatever. Get this.
No, people like it, but
yeah, art is very subjective.
Yeah.
So, and back to the clothing. I'm gonna make that tearjerker design. There's gonna be a bunch of them, and then there's gonna be quotes.
Oh yeah.
Just quotes.
Maybe you could have like
the same way it's like just basic here. It's just gonna be that. That's it.
Okay. Yeah.
People are just gonna buy the ad. They're not gonna give a shit about the clothing, but they're gonna buy it. Yeah.
Wait, why? Why don't you want them to give a shit about the clothing though?
It's just not the thing that's gonna compel them. It's gonna be a black
But if
t-shirt.
there's a cause behind it.
Yeah.
What if you put a cause behind it?
That's exactly what I mean. Because that's all advertising is. I mean, when there's a cause behind something, it's just somebody like.
Well, it just gives people more of a touch point to be able to interact with you and feel like they're part of the brand or part of the.
Well, I don't know about me, but like there will be a cause behind it.
All right. Well, yeah. As long as I feel like you should definitely put a cause behind it. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to separate you from every other clothing company.
And then when I make millions of dollars, people are going to find this clip.
Yeah.
They're going to be like, he fucking said that.
Oh, like
don't buy that guy shit. That's what they're going to say. Done. I just spoke that into the universe.
Like what's his name? Logic apparently did that.
Really?
Yeah, he spoke not about the clothing line, but like 3 years or 2 years prior to him getting on the XXL freshman list, he's like, I'm gonna get on that list in 2 years from now.
Ooh.
Yeah, and he worked his ass off and he got there.
Wow, he called it out too. Eh?
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah.
What do you think of Logic? His music?
I liked him, like his mixtapes, his earlier mixtapes. I liked a lot.
Yeah, like the young
Sinatra. Yeah, and those. Maybe it was because of the beats that he used. I liked a lot of the beats that he used. I even used one of them, like Grind, the one from Asheroth.
Yep.
And yeah, I liked it, but then it just started getting a bit formulaic in the sense of like, sort of like Jadakiss. No doubt, Jadakiss is one of the greatest lyricists ever.
Yeah.
But he's very hard to listen to more than 2 songs because they all sound similar.
Yes.
And same thing with Drake, and not as recently, but maybe in the older times they all kind of sounded similar.
A lot.
And it's not their fault. It's just, I guess, the way that their songs go or their voice plays into that, I guess.
And then it's like the thing you're talking about, like having to make money and then having to like package it.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, oh, we have to stay with this sound.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't even imagine that like aspect of those things because like there's probably so much uncreative control, I guess you want to say, going into it where they don't have any control and they just have to listen to what the. But that's why a lot of people go independent, right?
Yeah.
So good for the people who do, I guess, and I'm sure they're way happier. But
have you seen the stuff around independence, like independent artists, how they're like not actually independent?
Oh no,
it's like a ruse.
Oh, is this this is one of those conspiracy theories?
No, it's like an actual thing that like happens. Like they.
But what do you mean it's a ruse?
They just get signed.
And then they're called independent artists.
Well, no, they come in as independent, they get signed, and they just don't tell anybody they got signed.
Oh well, I never heard of that.
Because that way they have the budgets and everything, but like they still have people championing them because they're independent still.
But why? Where'd you hear this?
Well, it's not where you hear it. Like you see it with like Pump and like.
But like, is it?
I don't know if you were serious if you didn't
know
who he was.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
He's a young guy. He's like 16 or 17.
I only know like 3 Lils.
Yeah,
and that was like Lil Peep, Lil Uzi. I think that's it. Even like, was there some other little? I'm forgetting. Maybe Little Gucci. Is that a thing? I don't know.
I wonder if there is. There should be. But yeah, he's just like young kid. He was independent, and then he signed, and then just didn't tell people. Even
really,
yeah.
This was like already a fact though.
Yeah, even Chance the Rapper has a little bit of that.
Really?
Where like he was saying he wasn't signed, and people were like, "No, he's signed."
Oh, well then that's crazy on their part. And first off, I don't condone that whatsoever because that sounds like the dumbest marketing you could possibly do. Because if it was someone like me, once you told me that, not that I ever do listen to Lil Pump, but I don't ever want to because I don't respect the fact that he just pretty much lied to every one of his supporters.
Man, you gotta listen to Lil Pump. He's a Harvard school dropout.
What does that mean to me?
He was in Harvard and he dropped out.
Didn't Mark Zuckerberg do that?
That's right.
So is he Mark Zuckerberg? Is he a robot that I have to watch or something?
He's basically a robot. Yo, I watched that whole thing on Congress.
Yeah, they're so fun.
I watched the entire thing.
Oh, I was just talking about all the memes people are making of him.
Oh, the memes, yeah. I'm sure
I only watched the highlights, and I'm sure that those weren't even like the good parts of it.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
He is like a robot.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Very much like a robot.
Yeah, it's so funny. And people like assuming that like his seat that he's sitting on is a wireless charger.
Wireless charger.
Yeah,
that's so good.
It's pretty good. But
so as a graphic designer, I was gonna ask. Actually, you know what? I want to go back because I actually had a question while you were talking about songwriting. And how do you go about writing a song? Like, what's the process behind that?
My process?
Yeah.
Probably normally starts with me listening to the beat, probably like 100 times while freestyling to it.
Okay.
And like while I'm freestyling, if I like a flow that I come up with or a lyrics that I feel fit the beat and fit the story that I'm going with. Normally I don't even figure out the story until like I'm halfway into writing the first like 5 or 6 bars, and I kind of either base it off that, or what I used to do is just cheap out and be like, what's this beat called? And then just try to revolve it around that. But it didn't really work well that way.
Yeah.
And I just felt like it really contrasted the two. So now what I do is just try to make it feel like as natural as possible while like freestyling to it, and then see where it goes. But after that, I would kind of more refine it and not freestyle, because that makes me kind of speed up and like not take the pauses that I need to, which is like a huge problem with me when I rap, is like I go too fast and I don't really like consider the pauses that need to be had to make flow original and stand out. And a lot of the new kids are doing that in spades. Like that's the one thing that I do like about them.
Yeah.
Is like they know their pauses, they know like their timing, but what they don't know apparently is how to speak English. But either way, apparently it's never been part of the hip hop culture anyways, right? With Ebonics and all that. So like it's
with Ebonics, and also with like I saw this video where somebody was it's actually called Noisy Images, I believe. And he was likening Designer to Louis Armstrong, and like it was weird that people were so accepting of Louis Armstrong as a genius, but like Designer's like, oh, he can't speak English, because Louis Armstrong would do the same shit.
Yeah.
He'd be like,
yeah.
You would do that shit all the time.
Louis Armstrong, like You Are So Beautiful to Me and that stuff. Like
There'd be parts where like he wouldn't make any sense.
True. But
like,
didn't he also play fucking saxophone or some shit?
Oh, he was a genius still. Yeah. Like I'm not saying he was anything like Designer. It's just like it's funny that
he might be. I don't know who fucking shit all about Designer or Louis Armstrong for that matter. I just know the songs that he sings, and he's just like, you are so like really deep.
Yeah, so like I don't know. It's weird that the kids nowadays are doing that. They're using their voices as instruments.
Oh yeah. Well, it's always been an instrument, and that's kind of, like I said, what I like about the new generation is also what I thought was lost between the generations, like before them with us, where like music or lyrics weren't really an instrument. They were more of like a placeholder, I guess you want to say. Like they weren't being used, I feel like, as an instrument, and they weren't being taken advantage of the way that they could have been. But I wasn't either, right? So props to the new people doing that shit, because it's like when I try to write it like that and I listen to it and I'm like, this just doesn't seem genuine to me, because it's like, I don't know. I don't want to like fake it, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who do fake it because they just feel it's the way that they need to be portrayed. Yeah.
What's the line there? Like between something being completely contrived and like just forced and like staying with your style. But then all of a sudden, like, you have your style, but like, should you evolve to what the new things are, or it's like,
it beats me. Like, I can't, like, I'm not successful in the rap. Like, I'm successful in the sense, I guess, like you said, you think I'm a good lyricist, and like I get that from other people too. But I don't want to give advice on that because I'm not successful in the sense of making money or getting much exposure on that.
Yeah.
True. But what I like, yeah, I can't really speak much on that. Like I could try, but it wouldn't really be like.
Well, like why, like let's say like you heard something that was new, like the new thing that people are doing. What would, like, how do you know that you're not supposed to just jump onto that wave?
Oh,
you know.
That's a really hard question, I guess. How do you know that you're not supposed to jump on the new trend?
It's like, yeah, because it's like, should you
why is somebody telling you not to jump on it? Like, are you just not wanting to jump on it? It's like in design, there's Helvetica. Do you know the typeface Helvetica?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So people are like infuriated and never want to use it ever. They're like, I won't fucking use it. It's blown out. Everybody uses it. Like, yeah, I want to be original. Yada yada yada. But like,
sure.
Is that the only reason?
Yeah.
Is that the only reason that you're not doing it? Is because other people are doing it?
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's like when is it stubbornness and when are you like?
Well, I feel like that would be complete stubbornness if like you're just completely against it because it's just like you don't want to go with the fad and so basically, yeah, exactly. I'm saying that now, but for all we know, I'm gonna leave here. We're gonna have a situation, and I'm gonna be like, no, I hate that, and you're gonna be like, why? And I'll be like, because everyone likes it.
Yeah,
you know. So like, it's a lot easier said than done. Where like a lot of people will love a lot of the new Marvel movies, you know, but like some of them I'll be like, I fucking hated it. Like I really didn't like it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, why? Why didn't you like it? And I'll give them a bunch of reasons, but a lot of people think it's just because like everybody liked it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
being a contrarian.
Yeah, but that was also a problem back when the word hater started coming into rotation. And like, it's gonna sound really bad, but like I hate the word hater. Like I've always have and I always said it, and it's like the epitome of what I feel about the word. Because like sometimes people like, it's not because we're jealous or anything. Yeah, it's because we're either seriously worried because you're crazy as shit, or we just know it's the wrong way to do something. Yeah, you know. But like I'm not talking about the celebrities. You know, like yeah, there are tons of haters. People like just like I was just saying with Lil Pump, and I don't know who he is. Yeah. If I were to talk down about him and I've never heard his music, I'd be like, that'd be a hater. Yeah. But like the people around you that nobody is famous and they're just like hating on you for no reason, like there's not no reason they're hating on you. I don't think it's like some people actually have a genuine reason to criticize and try to tell you what you're doing wrong. But there are always the people who just are jealous as shit. Yeah. You know, people. And they'll just be like, no, you suck. No matter what you do, even if like you cured cancer, you suck. You know?
Yeah. I think I used to be like that. I used to be like that with Justin Bieber.
Yeah, I used to be like that with Drake.
I was like, when I sat back and I was like, why do people hate this guy? Mm-hmm. And I looked at it and I was like, there's no real reason. Yeah. I'm like, and people were like, he sucks at singing. And I listened to his songs. I'm like, yo, this guy's amazing. Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah.
Well, he's not bad. And for anybody to say that he sucks is just like, yeah, those are complete people who are, I guess, under the definition of hater. Yeah, right. Yeah. They have no reasoning besides the fact that they just don't like the attention he's getting and I guess want it themselves. I don't know. Maybe. Who doesn't? You know? But at the same time, I'm sure that's hell, so.
Yeah. I don't know. That became my shower album, man.
Which one? Doesn't he have like 100 albums?
Purpose.
Oh, okay. Because I don't know any of his albums. But I know he's a good singer and like he's clearly liked by a lot of people, and Usher saw something in him to like take him on to begin with. Right. I trust in Usher's, but I don't know where the hell's he been. He's just like, I made my money, I'm out of here.
What do you mean? Where's he been?
I don't know. I haven't seen him been in anything. Does he have new music, new anything? I haven't seen him in like the media at all.
Well,
maybe a cologne. That cologne he made, right?
In the African American circles. So yeah. It's quite a buzz about Usher giving some chick herpes.
Really? Yeah. Oh shit. When was this? How long ago? Like yesterday, probably by my luck.
No, I don't know. Apparently, like there was some girl, some chick, and she claims that he like fooled around with her, and then she got herpes.
Whatever. He's got nothing to worry about compared to R. Kelly
years ago or something. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, I don't know. That's where Usher's at right now.
True. I'm just giving girls genital herpes. You want herpes? You get herpes. Everyone gets herpes. Look under your seat.
Allegedly. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what he
Don't worry. If I ever see Usher, which I talk to him so much, I'll let him know.
Never know. He might see you and be like, fucking Grossman sounds.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And you'll be like, yo, yeah, man.
I used to fucking love Usher.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah, I used to love Usher as a kid.
I love them. I love the song My Way.
Yep, so did I. I used to fucking sing all of the songs, and I was
way.
pretty ridiculed it and like ridiculed for it, you know. And they're like, "You're so gay," and I'm like, "Yeah." But did you see that comb move where he tucks that comb into his back pocket, like in Confessions? I think. Yeah, and they're like, "Man, shut up." All my friends were like, "You're so gay."
That's so funny. Yeah, I used to sing that by myself.
Well, yeah.
When my brothers weren't home.
True.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Now that they know, they're gonna.
Yeah, they'll come after me probably. Yeah. So graphic design.
Yeah.
That came after music.
Yeah. 100%.
So what really pushed you to do that?
To be honest, it was kind of like one of those. Just I had to decide what I wanted to do because I'm like I'm doing nothing, sitting here playing PlayStation all day and smoking weed and literally just not really doing like music was a thing I was doing, but like at the same time like I wasn't benefiting from it other than people being like good, you know, we like it, it's good, you know, like coming to shows and stuff. But like I wasn't making the money off of anything, even the tickets. Like I'd cut down the profits that I was supposed to make and just hand them out for pretty much free and pay out of my pocket.
Really?
Yeah. And so, like, I don't know. It made me really sour at times when I'm just like, oh, man, fuck all these people. They call me they call me a friend or they're my friends. But then I started realizing, I'm like, wait a second. Why does everybody, like, have to, like, constrain to my time? You know what I mean?
Right?
Like, yeah. Like, they have shit on their own lives. They're doing their own shit. Yeah. They have shit to do. It's not like... But that's, like, the same thing where some people just think the world literally revolves around them. Yeah. And that was kind of like a problem I used to have myself where I'm just like, wait a second. Why isn't everybody listening to my shit? I'm a fucking genius, you know? But then at the time, like once I started realizing that no, you're not, because if you were, first off, somebody would have noticed and tried to pick you up, and or two, like you probably wouldn't be as conceited about something and then defensive when somebody calls you down on it, you know?
That's true.
Yeah, that's so when I notice I'm like super defensive about things, even though it's the worst feeling in the world when you know you're wrong in an argument and you're just like, like, you know, you're just sitting there and you're in the middle of an argument.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then you just start realizing you're like,
and you're like, how do I back out of this gracefully?
Yeah, exactly. But there's no graceful way to do it. I've never found one. Maybe you know one, but it's normally just ends with me being like, fuck you. You know? Jeez, yeah. Or not even that. Just being like, you know what? Like, I'm not even talking about, like, just still pretending I'm right, but knowing that I'm wrong, you know?
One of those, eh?
Yeah.
No, you got to just be like, all right.
Yeah, that's the hardest part. Yeah.
I see what you're saying. That's what you should say.
Yeah, okay.
Just one of those. That's a nice one.
Yeah,
I see what you're saying. That's true. It's good for your soul.
That's like Brandon sometimes where he's just like, how you feel about that? And I'm like, shut up. You're not my therapist.
Brandon. Man, I gotta have him on again very soon.
Yes, so you do.
So sad about that.
Whatever. It's there, and people know now that it's part of the process, like you said.
Right.
Yeah, which I didn't get. And, like, I don't know. Have you explained that fully more?
What?
And, like, the fact of why all of these videos are going to be left up no matter like the quality or content or if it messes up or doesn't mess up or
no
oh, I don't know, maybe
none of that's been explained.
You should address it. I feel
yeah definitely. No,
because at first I thought, I'm just like, why is he putting these up? Like, does he know that this one I can't hear a damn thing? And then I play it and then I'm just like, oh, he knows, like he played it in the beginning. But like but then I'm just I'm confused at that moment until today where you told me, and I'm like, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
But it's because you're like future proofing your plan, and I didn't see that ahead of time. I just thought you're like day to day, and you're just like trying to keep this format or that format. But yeah, I don't know. I'd explain it to them.
Nah, well.
Or whenever you're ready. But I feel like
that's the thing. Like as time goes, I don't know.
But just know there's a purpose. There's definitely a purpose.
Yes, there's a purpose to all this.
Yeah.
There's
it's not like he doesn't, like, because at first I thought maybe you were just like haphazard. Like, I'm like, he's so dedicated to doing 1,000 people, but why isn't he curating the ones that don't properly work and just not posting them?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But once you explain it to me, I'm like, okay, so there's definitely a reason and a story behind it. So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
As it goes, it's going to form into something because, well, I shouldn't just say something, but it'll form into like a more structured thing because right now it's like the whole process is me becoming a better interviewer.
Yeah, okay.
Figuring out the whole interview process, how to do it, where to do it. And then the next thing is the questions. And then like the next, like, I think 20 episodes, I'm going to start. Actually, I might even do that with you right now. We only have like 15 more minutes, 20 more minutes.
Yeah, whatever works. that fast?
So
that's already been. Damn.
Oh yeah, it goes fast. It goes fast.
People like talking. You know?
Yeah, right.
I love talking. I'm like, you're talking to me? All right, yeah. I'll tell you what I know.
I gotta say. But yeah, and then the next bunch of episodes, I'm gonna focus on the questions.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing is called the process because it's a whole process as we go. I don't
know why it took me so long to get. I was just really like,
the thing that people should see right away when they get it is like the process, and I'm going through everybody else's process.
Yeah.
And then as you get into it, and as you start like watching every episode, then you'll start understanding my process.
Yeah.
And that'll be like just another fun thing for people to follow.
Yeah. That's true. And maybe like when you get to maybe like, I don't know, 500 or something, you can try fucking having people hand in their own questions to ask other people like in advance. Be like our next guest. I don't know. Just a thought.
That's a thing.
Because I wanted to ask some of the questions to some of the people while I was watching. I'm like, I'd like to know this from this person.
Yeah, right?
You know?
I was thinking of that. I was thinking of that like via Twitter kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
I'm not sure how they do it, but they do it somehow.
Yeah,
I'm sure you'd find it out.
Yeah, I got to figure out the formats.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to do something like that. But also I want to do something where like other people interview people.
What do you mean, like a process of that?
Yeah, well,
some Inception thing?
Yeah. There's going to be something like that going on.
Some interviewception.
Because there's some people that as I'm interviewing people, there are other people who like want things and like need things and like they need to be in front of certain people. And if I can like facilitate that meeting, and then like film it,
that'd be cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be really, really trippy. But like, I don't know how the miking would work for that, but it sounds like it might be complicated. I don't know.
Right, because they'd have one mic, another mic.
Yeah.
I just couldn't be mic'd. I couldn't be.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I would just have to be behind the camera.
Yeah, true. I don't know why I thought it was so confusing. Like it's so complicated. It's
humble
like a Rubik's
myself.
Cube.
No, like if I wanted to talk to, it would be really complicated.
Yeah, for sure. I'd be like, who's this guy in the background talking?
Yeah. I've been told it's jarring to have not be there and hear my voice and stuff.
What do you mean? What did they say?
Somebody told me that like when like you're holding the camera and somebody hears your voice, it's like jarring to the experience.
Oh, all right. I don't know where they got that from. Might be. I never really analyzed it that much.
They're a very fragile person.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe they're just listening really, really loudly in their headphones, weren't expecting it or something.
Maybe that's what you were doing. Is that what you were doing?
It could be.
He knows who he is.
Yeah, okay.
We'll talk about it after.
No, all right. Just out him right here. Or her. Nobody knows. Just keep it really anonymous. Now they don't know.
But I like how you just brought up the actual show because, I want to go towards creativity.
Yeah.
Like that was like my main focus that I want to learn about the most from creatives is how they keep their creativity going, like what they do. And like I'm trying to figure out like what questions I can ask to creatives in general towards creativity.
Well, like you're doing already on the show, but like I feel like I'm not being the best at doing it is probably like it's literally the title of your show is kind of walking people through their workflow or their process rather than us just talking here. Maybe like I would write half a song or whatever. You know what I mean? And then walk people through that. So if they're a songwriter and they want to benefit and like try to learn things or tips from other creatives, then those could be the people who aren't necessarily at the top of their field, but they're people who might know more than they do at the time talking about it.
Definitely.
So just maybe like, their process, their workflow. It depends on who you're interviewing though. Like you're focusing mostly music, art, and
music, arts.
And I guess everything that
what else
encompasses those,
life, right?
Yeah, well, everything that encompasses the two. So I guess music can be placed inside of art.
Yeah. So it's basically like the arts, the creatives.
But yeah, what I think is you literally have to, like for graphic designers, I could tell you what kind of I would ask maybe sometimes. Like I'd have to think way longer about what I'd probably want to ask, but like their preferences in typeface, why they think they like that or why they think people don't like it, etc. But like I said, I kind of like obsessed with typefaces. The programs that they use are the programs they prefer and whether they think they're getting what they need out of it and whether they can recommend it to other people. But that one's, I guess, pretty basic because most people just hover around Adobe because it's like the industry standards. But now there's what is it? The new Affinity. Yeah, there's Affinity and they're no subscription based and they're $60 and it's the whole program for either like a Photoshop style program or a vector style program.
Wow.
For $60.
Wow.
Instead of Adobe's ridiculous subscription prices.
Yeah, I've been paying that.
But the only problem is they're the industry standard. So if you want to hand something over, that might be a problem. But if you get people who are more experienced than me in graphic design too, that work at ad agencies or have interned, it's obviously like what was their most like thing that they learned the most from. What was the biggest mistake they made, and why was it a mistake, and what can you do to like improve on it. I don't know if that would technically go the same with people who are recording artists or mastering artists, tattoo artists, etc.
True. Well, I was talking with that executive. I don't even know if I should call her an executive. I'm not sure.
Well, let's call her Executive X.
Sure. But one thing she said was, and I'll try it on you. What's the most creative thing you've ever done?
A creative thing I've ever done would either be making my songs, I feel, or what I'm doing right now with school is they're helping me bring a game I created and invented to market.
Okay.
And so I feel like that's probably my most creative thing because it's something I fully did from the ground up, created it myself, created the style of the game, and it seems to be good enough that my school got interested in it and wants to hold it in their own thing and license it from me. And so, yeah.
Wow.
So I feel like that's probably my most creative thing, but it all depends on your definition of creativity, right?
True.
Like, it's like creativity doesn't necessarily revolve around something I could do with my hands or something that's artistic. Like, can you, like, for instance, with like our buddy Jason, can you build a house? That's pretty damn creative.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, like, it doesn't have to be like an extravagant house, but if you could do it, I can't do that. That's creative. Like, can you MacGyver something out of like a paper clip and a rubber band and like, you know, like that's creative, but it doesn't necessarily mean it has anything to do with art.
True.
But yeah, so I feel like those are probably my most creative things that I can think of at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, why? What was the meaning of the...
Well, we were just like, I was just, like I said, she was really trying to give me structure for this whole thing. And she was just running by like questions that I should ask to people at her level because she's a little higher level.
Yeah.
And she just brought up that, like, what's the most creative thing that someone's ever done? We're trying to like think of like general creativity questions. Because I don't want to go just towards any industry because I know like tomorrow I'll be talking to a tattoo artist and the next day it's somebody else. So we're just trying to figure out, I'm just trying to figure out that whole thing. So yeah, the whole meaning of it was just like, just to find out what your most creative thing is. Yeah. And just go from there, I guess.
True. Well, what a good question might be, I feel like I don't know, I guess you're not a graphic designer. So there's this channel called The Future. It's just like The Future without an E on the end. So FUTUR.
I follow that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Recently they had a live stream, and I forget who the guy was exactly, but the question he asks everybody, and he feels that is the best way to kind of get the sense of their ideals and like beliefs, sort of, and like what they value, their values, would be to ask them, who is your hero? Like, who's your idol? And normally that can portray their values to you because normally they seek, like, you know how like idols work, right?
Yeah, of course.
You normally seek to be that person, or you value something they've done, and you want to be them. So I don't know, that could be a cool one.
That is a cool one, actually. Yeah.
So when he said that, I'm like, next time I do like a brief for a client and I want to know like where they stand on their values, and like, it just helps to, because there's a lot of strategy involved in designing that I guess a lot of people don't really consider.
That's actually really smart. So let's all see this guy's values. Who's your idol?
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, because it's my values are, I guess, in that same insight when you look at this comparison, are that I don't have these values. The values that I want are what I like. That's like, you know what I mean? It's what I wish.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if all people's idols work the same way.
Yeah.
But as somebody who always wanted discipline, who always wanted to be physically fit and be able to mind over matter, you know what I mean? And somebody who seemed, what I know, like what I've noticed, is like super humble in his upbringings and wanted to teach others. And that's like the core of like just wanting to teach others, be humble in yourself, but at the same time know your limits, but he didn't at the same time. Like, you know, he got really injured doing like weightlifting and broke his back a long time ago. Yeah. So
that's crazy.
But yeah, Bruce Lee was pretty much my idol.
So like, yeah, that's somebody that you strive to like be like.
Yeah. Recently, there's a designer, Aaron Draplin, that I've looked up to a lot too, but mostly because he can. I don't know. It seems like he can live his life comfortably while being himself without being too executive, and like he's just really down to earth, I guess, and welcoming, and just somebody you'd like have a beer with rather than being like
on your toes around.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
But at the same time, I don't know if that's a good thing or not for people like at this point in my life to have clients where I'm not like, I'm all like chilled and not professional. So I'm not going to try to go after that. But his design style, and I just feel like I can relate because it doesn't seem like he's got a huge fine arts background. I don't know if he does. He probably does. But it's just somebody who.
He just seems more laid back than most.
Relatable, I guess.
Yeah, you seem like you'd be like that when you like get to a higher level.
Well, I'd hope to be, but maybe I'll turn into a huge Nazi, you know, be like, everybody get to work. Yeah?
Nah, I can't see that.
I don't know. I'm under stress sometimes. I'm not like terrible, but I did this charrettes recently. It's an international charrettes where people come from around the world to work on like designs and stuff.
Charrettes?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a gathering, I guess. I didn't know the word either until recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like, I don't know. It was just very stressful, but a great learning experience in the sense that like working with others. It's like a broken telephone on my team that I had, but basically other people apparently had better like outturns or like outcomes and stuff.
Yeah.
And you're not incentivized to like have to give in the work at the end. So a lot of people were like, meh, all right, I'll do it. And then so like it turned out to be like me and 3 other people that worked overnight to try to get this shit done.
Wow.
But like that was a huge learning experience for me. And I just feel like if you sort of take it's a bad way to think maybe, but like just be prepared that everything that you try to get into is going to be like similar to like a boot camp. Okay. Not like as like physically rigorous for you maybe depending on your field, but like just be ready for it. You know?
Yeah.
Always like, I don't know, I guess it's pessimistic at the same thing as I always kind of try to expect the worst.
True.
Like I don't want to, but it's just in the back of my mind, and I'm like, you know what, if I do expect the worst, then like at least I'm somewhat prepared for it.
Yeah.
But it works for some people and not well for others, so I can't.
Yeah, some people it's like smoking too much weed. They just get anxiety about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But like I remember this fighter. I'm not sure who it was. I think it was maybe Kevin Lee, somebody. He was talking about how he pictures like the worst outcome in the fight, like the worst possible thing that could happen.
Like a leg broken, like never to be reattached.
Knocked out, wakes up, he's knocked out, he gets his teeth knocked out, like the horrible shit. And he just says that when he's in the fight, and then when some bad shit goes down, he's like, I've already pictured worse than this, so it becomes easier.
Yeah, it's true too.
He can handle like whatever comes because he's just like, I already pictured worse than this happening. Like,
yeah,
whatever.
but like I said, like it's not suggested to people. It works different for everybody. Yeah. So, but that's sort of unfortunately how I see it. And I was always kind of like more of a loner in like elementary school out of my like popular friend group. Like it was like my group of friends was like more on the popular end, but I was like the lower end of that popular spectrum because I was like really weird and lonely and had anxiety and all this other shit. But yeah, where were we talking about again?
Oh man, that's a good way to catch me off guard. We were talking about idols. But then from there, it turned into a bunch of other stuff.
All right. Whatever. Besides that.
And you were talking about Aaron Draplin?
Yeah.
You looked up to him?
Yeah, I looked up to him for the design. But I'm sure it'll come around again.
We both smoked weed. Okay? All right?
Shh, don't tell them.
All right? Cat's out of the bag.
Can't you smell it?
We got high.
That's my favorite part of Walk Hard. He's like, yeah, of course. Can't you smell it? But yeah. Who else do you like plan on? What about you?
What about me?
What about insight on your idol?
Oh, my idol. Oh man. It's my mom. Yeah, my mom would be my idol.
Oh, that's awesome. Now I feel like a jackass. Yeah. My mom's my idol too. I forgot that. But seriously, like if we're going back, like I didn't even consider it, which is very selfish of me. But like, yeah, she'd be one of my idols too. She's a trooper. She was told she was never gonna walk again.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, she shattered her femur. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, and she just had like 40 some odd new surgeries. Doesn't have a knee in one of her legs.
Jesus.
Yeah. And she's kicking. She's walking around. She's doing her thing.
Well, my mom.
My mom could beat your mom up. But yeah, no, so I feel like a dick after you said that. So I just wanted to clear that up. So people are like, oh, yeah, this guy doesn't even know Bruce Lee. You know, this guy knows his mom. At least I hope he does. Right? Yeah. But anyways, continue. My apologies.
No, it's just her. It's based on her work ethic. She's actually the reason I got this tattoo.
Oh, sweet.
Work harder. Yeah, she always tells me I'm like lazy, but she only tells me that, like when I am being lazy, which is a lot.
Yeah, no, that's good.
But yeah, it's just her work ethic. Her work ethic is really strong, and like I'm like, it's actually the same as the Bruce Lee thing, because like I'm not at that level of work ethic at all, like not even close. But like I'm like striving to like reach that, because I feel like when I do, I'll like unlock some shit.
Yeah, that's like, I don't know. I feel like that's the best, because like before I'd be like, my idol's Bruce Lee. But I'd be like, I don't really care to do anything to get there or to get to those values. But that's my idol, you know? But now like I feel like I'm more like, now I'm more on track to like try to fulfill those values. Yeah. When before I was just like, yeah, it's my idol, but I don't want to really reflect any of it because I'm too lazy. You know?
I just like him.
Unless my idol is like Potato Couch Man.
Yeah.
You know? Couch Potato Man. Yeah. He's just like, I just like sitting here playing video games all day, and that's my thing.
That was me.
Yeah.
That was me till I was like 12. And I was like,
that was me until like 4 years ago.
Then I discovered weed. And I was like,
oh
no
man, really?
games.
You're crazy. I discovered weed, and I'm like, video games are way better.
Yeah, I just started smoking weed instead.
Everything got way. No, I'm not gonna say it. Everything got way better,
right?
Except for my motivation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the key thing. It really gets
the worst.
But yeah, that's my idol. I'm trying to strive to that. I'm actually gonna make this whole arm. This whole arm's dedicated to her.
Dope.
Slowly.
You know what your next thing is gonna be, or it's gonna be a surprise?
Yeah, it's gonna be like, don't complain, because she never complains, and then it's gonna be like, don't waste time.
You gonna get them in different fonts?
No, I want it to all be straightforward, because she's very just straightforward with it.
But all the same font? Then?
Yeah. Same artist too. I'll probably go back.
You gotta ask him if that's Century or not.
I will. I'll ask her.
I'm interested.
Because she didn't really tell me. I was just like, I want it just straight font. Mm-hmm. I'm like, just straight. And she's like, okay.
Straight font. That's what you told her?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean straight font? Like you?
I'm like, I just want it straight. She's like, you mean just like letters? I'm like, yeah.
Sans serif, yeah.
I'm like, this printing. And she's like, okay. So yeah, I'm just gonna do all that.
Sure.
Then I'm gonna turn them into vines. Oh. Vines are gonna go up to like Barbados, because that's where she's from, and then like above that will be her face. So it'll be like a whole.
Would have been great if you didn't tell me about the connection between Barbados, because then I would have been like, this guy's crazy. Why did he just add Barbados in there? So then there's Barbados and then my mom. You know, it's just like
Barbados.
I just like it.
I went there once. It was alright.
Yeah. It was alright.
But yeah. So we're like looking for like, well, I'm looking for like different questions. So like when it comes to creativity, where does it come from for you? Because like you went from music. And then your work ethic, and you know what, I will actually just say it quickly, like your work ethic and music was like shitty, and like that's exactly where I was at one point. I never did as much with my music as you did, but yeah, I was like really lazy with it, and then I moved on to like other stuff, and then like I was lazy with that, and then like I broke through finally, and then I went back to the thing, but I didn't go back to music. I went back to like learning like these programs and shit. And then I was like amazing at it. So you never know. You might go back to music and just be like,
yeah, maybe I will. Yeah, I hope so. But like right now, it's like far and few in between mostly. Unless anybody out there wants to record me for free, you know. That's mostly my problem, is like the funds to record, right? To record high quality stuff it's not cheap.
True.
Yeah, and I normally try to like getting it perfect, but the longer you stay there, the longer the money is, the more it costs. Yeah. So yeah. Well, obviously, I could teach myself how to record in my house, which I've slowly been doing on like tutorial sites like Lynda and stuff. But I don't know. I just haven't made the time. I stopped saying I haven't found the time, because it's not about finding the time. You know, it's whether you want to make it or not.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. True. But yeah, you might do that. But creativity. Mm-hmm. Where does it come from for you in terms of design? Because it seems like you're more into design right now, because like that's where you're at right now. So like in terms of design, where does that come from for you? If at all, because like maybe you don't have any creative control in the projects that you're taking on, or.
Well, no, we do. Sometimes it's obviously really structured and like straightforward, and we can't really alter it that much. But I think it's mostly like the underlying is that like graphic designers, we're not artists. Like we're, from what I was taught, is we're communicators. Like that's our job, is to communicate things properly. Not recently, but there was it's an example that everybody uses in design, but there was an old voting ballot for the presidency. I think this was maybe like 60s, 70s, something like that.
Yeah.
And basically the design of the ballot in general, like, foiled the election, and people voted for what they thought was somebody else. But instead, this giant Jewish population got some like Nazi person that really wanted like nothing to do with them. So they basically voted for the wrong person, just because the design just ruined an entire election and possibly the future of a country.
Really?
Yeah, and just the way the person designed it, it was really confusing as to where you had to place the pen for the ballot. And just those things, that's like a great example of why design isn't really art. It's more of communicating things properly. Mm-hmm. And like there's obviously different strands of that. Like advertising is a different stream where it's just, so in that, I just literally love trying to give somebody, like, the creativity comes in trying to find out how I can connect with the person viewing whatever they're viewing. Mm-hmm. Like most of the times I try to add like little, I guess you want to call them like Easter eggs or something, or like nods to what I'm trying to get at in my logos or designs or whatever.
Yeah.
Where instead of like, just like, for example, the FedEx logo, you know, there's that little arrow between the E and the X. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't notice.
So there's random things that let you interact with the designs that make you feel like you've solved something, or you're part of the process, where it's like, without you I couldn't have done this. True. So it's more, I guess, behind the interaction design part of it. Not necessarily like mobile apps or like user interface design, but more just trying to find the connection where it feels, I guess, appropriate for the mood that I need. And that's where I try to, like, it's all ideation. Ideation is where my creativity comes from, really. Like, I just literally sit there and brainstorm my ass off for like a long time.
Really?
Yeah. And like, it's what we're like trained to do too. Like for the game that we were creating or whatever, we had to come up with, I think, like, I don't know, 1,000 ideas for different games, all new invented games or whatever.
It's an obscene number.
Yeah, it's an obscene number. Exactly. Exactly like I said to you. It is an obscene number. And then in advertising, we have to do like 300 ideas for something for next year. This one, we only had to do 40, and people were like, 40 ideas? I can't do 40. Like, are you crazy? Really? You know, but like, I'm like, you know, like, right, just start writing. Like when you get to it, like, and that's, I guess, where the creativity comes from. It's like, it's formed. It's not out of the blue. Yeah. You know? And like, to get to that point where like I said earlier, I think I can't just decide I'm creative today. You know, like I have to push myself just the same way as like I can't decide I'm going to write a great song today. Yeah. Opposed to tomorrow, or I'm not feeling this beat today, but tomorrow I'll write to it. But like, it's the same difference where you just have to get down to it. And while you're in there, there's going to be so many little like nuggets of things that you can use for either future projects, that project, and it'll just form what it needs to form around itself.
True.
Yeah.
True. So like that's where you get your creativity, from nothing.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then it forms around.
Yeah, like you are your creativity, right?
Yeah, I was gonna
like
say it forms around you.
Yeah.
Like as you give it that energy, and then it just forms around.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess it is about the energy then, like how in depth you want to get to it, and how like much you want to like search your mind or the reasons you're doing it, or because like I don't know, I feel like I overshoot it sometimes. Or some of my teachers would have been like, "Why did you do this many ideas? You only needed to do this, you know." And I'm like, "Well, and it's just going to be harder for you to pick." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I like them all."
Yeah, of course.
You know, but then they get down to it and they're like, "Do you really though? Like, let's just do this easily." And then they went through it with me again. Like, it's a lot different when you're by yourself choosing what you like. Of course. And then you're with somebody else, because then you're like, wait, they might not like this.
Because your brain is just like, yeah, of course. Yeah, that one's good. Yeah, we thought of that one. Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah, well, it's not like that. It's just like when someone is next to you and like they're like, you can, like, that's exactly what I'm saying. You can kind of relate to them, and you could try to relate, and that helps you understand, wait, this might not be good for all audiences.
Yeah.
Like, I love this idea is great, but there's no way I could do this, this is like way out of the blue. Can't do it in the United States, maybe in the UK because it's so racy or whatever, but like I do like this idea, but you can't present that idea.
True.
So it's just when you have somebody around to give you more opinions and like actually be there. Otherwise, if you just send to people like, yeah, cool, I like it, but like you can actually see when somebody likes something when like you're with them, and like that's kind of like a lost art, I guess. Not an art, but like a lost thing because everybody's so
disconnected, kind of.
Not disconnected.
Separated.
They're connected more than ever, I guess. But
yeah,
like,
but like not like
not socially.
You can't have someone next to you all the time.
Yeah, that's why I don't know. It's really weird. Not to like bash on the newer generation, but it seems like the newer generation is slower to respond to answers and stuff because they don't have that buffer zone between message sent, you read it, and then have all the time in the world to reply to it and edit it how you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Or now it seems just like people, like when I talk to them in person and face, sometimes they'll actually do that in their mind and they'll like re-edit them. I'm like, are you gonna respond? Like, it's not really long. It's really like probably only like half a second, but it's long enough for me to notice.
Yeah.
And it really takes away the connection of the person with me.
True.
Yeah.
They're editing it.
It's not with all of them, but there are some that I've noticed it with, and I'm like, I wonder if that's causation or correlation or what it is.
Right.
But
it probably is, right?
It could be. I don't know. I don't have the answers for that.
We have all the time to just write back.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden somebody's in your face talking to you.
Yeah.
It has to be like a different experience.
For sure is.
And it slows you down. You're like, oh, that's so funny. So that's cool with creativity. That's where it comes from for you.
Yeah, from nothing apparently.
No, but like you generate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's not even like it's nothing. It's just like you bring the creativity to yourself. But I guess that's what everybody does. I guess that's why there's a process.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of people sell themselves short because like I know a couple people in my year that are like, if they heard a tagline from a teacher, like a teacher suggested something, they'd be like, I can't do that. He told. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Just anything anybody says ever, you can never use them? Yeah. Like, this is for you to interpret what you need to interpret to make this. Like, it's not stealing like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like somebody suggested it to you because they know it's either the best option or a better option than what you have. So why not take it? Where people sort of need to feel everything is theirs,
original in there,
when it's never going to be.
Yeah,
ever.
I felt like that.
Yeah,
I used to feel like that all the time.
Well, it's never going to be. But what you can do is make, like I said, try to make your personality and or the people that are on the show or whatever you're doing is shine through and be able to basically relate to the people that are viewing it.
Yeah.
But that's also where it comes in with the demographics, like she was saying. You're like, I don't want to do that yet, but if you want to try to like analyze the people after what you're doing, and like once you get 1,000 artists, designers, music artists, etc., are you just gonna go for more music artists, designers, etc.? Or you?
Oh man, after I do the 1,000, probably gonna make all this into like a documentary, or maybe a feature-length film. I've been suggested both.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm not sure. I'm gonna interview people still, just on a different frequency.
True.
Like not every day.
Yeah.
And they're gonna be much more prepared.
True.
And they're gonna be a lot sharper.
Yeah.
And I want to spend more time with the artists. Yeah.
So you mean like sitting down and like writing a song probably with them or something?
Yeah. True. Yeah. Something like that. If I had my way. If like Netflix all of a sudden was like, here's $10 million and we pay you and you can't leave until you're done another 1,000 episodes, I'd be like spending like a week with an artist.
Yeah, for sure.
I would like live with them. For
a week. You haven't watched the new
to see everything that they
do. New South Parks. Because one of them's just like, Netflix, you greenlit everything. Anything they pick up for the phone, they're like, you're greenlit. It's like they'll greenlight anything because everything they put out is. It seems like what they do too. Yeah, like everything. Go ahead, just give us it all. Even though nobody likes it and stuff. Like some of them are good, but my brother gave a good analogy or like an explanation where people say that the Netflix shows are so good, people are always praising them. And I agree with him where he says like they're not really that good. They're mediocre at best. But like when you don't have to wait week by week, like what's stopping you from watching them all?
That's right.
But like if I had to wait week by week. Chances are I wouldn't watch them. Like, what's it called? They've been doing that with Black Lightning.
Black Lightning.
Yeah, on
Never heard of
Netflix. It's DC's first black superhero.
What? I'll look into it.
There's no Luke Cage. I like Luke Cage way better, but
Yeah.
yeah, they are releasing that week by week, and like I'm so behind because I'm like, I realize I don't really care about this show, or else I'd be trying to catch up to it.
Yeah, definitely.
But like if it was all out at once, yeah, I'd watch it and binge the hell out of it. But like, yeah, I don't know. I guess that's where it separates whether what's mediocre and what isn't.
Yeah, that's a testament to Dragon Ball because I was watching that shit every week.
Dragon Ball Super?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't watch it yet because I can't stand Goku in Japanese.
Oh,
so
man.
Waiting for the dubs.
Yeah. I haven't watched any of the dubs.
They're coming out. I think they're like episode 60 right now. So we got a long way to go. But
Jesus, just watch it, man.
No, man. So I can't stand Goku and Vegeta.
So you don't know what happened?
No.
Oh, good.
I'm up to Goku Black right now.
Oh, good.
Like just the introduction of Goku. Yeah, I know. I've been told.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
All I'll say is dun 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 dun.
What the hell is that? Is that like the...
That's it. That's all I can tell you. Every Dragon Ball fan knew exactly what I just did, and they were like, "Oh shit!"
Apparently, I don't. And I thought I was a fan.
You will, and you'll be so happy.
Is it like a world tournament song or some shit?
It's new. It's a new thing.
Oh, okay. So you're saying it because they know because they've seen it.
Yeah. They've definitely seen it.
Well, fuck you guys. Well, yeah, I don't know. People are like, oh, you're not an avid fan. I'm like, listen, just because I don't prefer listening to them in Japanese doesn't mean you have to ridicule me.
Man, but anime is always so much better in Japanese.
People say that, but I don't agree.
It's the lessons. They when it gets turned into English, when it gets dubbed, they like Americanize it too.
Yeah, no, I have noticed that.
You know?
Yeah, some of the proverbs they use and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just I can't stand it because I just grew up with the dubs, right? And so like it's just who I see. I see Goku as what's his face, Sean, whatever. And yeah. I just I hear them as those people, and if I see them and hear them differently, then and plus like one of my other buddies from school kind of got me onto the point that like I don't really like anime as much anymore because he like
how dare you?
I'm just saying only because the animators seem to be really really lazy.
Lazy?
Yeah, they reuse a clip like 40 times. When an action scene is happening, sometimes it'll just be like really slowly while like just thinking like it's really lazy writing. Sometimes their eyes won't even blink when they're crying or something, or like they can't even draw more than one like eye droplet. And like he pointed it out to me, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of true. That is really lazy. But that's not all of them. Don't get me wrong.
But that's how it is in anime. That's the style.
I know, but it's I just agree with him as like I could see why he doesn't like watching anime for that reason. Like if that's what he's looking for is like I can understand. Like I'll still watch it, but ever since I can't stop noticing it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is pretty lazily done.
So that means have you ever seen Tokyo Ghoul?
No.
Oh goodness.
No. I've literally only watched like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, GT, and part of Super, and then Death Note.
Death Note's good.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they ruined that movie, but it doesn't matter anyway.
I didn't bother watching it.
Good.
Because I was like, it can't be good.
No, it's not. It was horrible.
Too bad.
Remember the Dragon Ball movie?
I didn't watch that either because I was like, no.
I tried watching it. It was like, funny as fuck. It was really funny.
When I saw Goku didn't have the same length hair, I was like, nope, not watching it.
It's just hilarious when you watch like fan made ones, and I'm like, this is way better than what Hollywood had. And they're like, yeah.
Their ideas are better, everything.
Yeah. Did you see Ready Player One?
No. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Is it amazing?
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It wasn't like amazing. I can't say it's amazing because I'm not a huge like fan of the aesthetic, I guess, of the whole thing. It's a bit too
glitchy, gamey.
No, it's a bit too dystopian, Mad Maxy, like dark everything, smog over the city.
Yeah. That's what I was.
Never really liked that like aesthetic. But yeah, it's a good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. There's some stupid parts that are meaningless dancing and romance for no reason. I'm like, yeah, we get it. You love each other.
True.
Just get over it. We already know.
Jeez. So when it comes to design, what do you want to do with it? Like, where do you want to go with it? You want to keep going with it? You want to just get to the point where you can make your own artwork for your music, or do you want to like?
That was the initial idea. That's why I got into it to begin with. To be honest, it was like, what can I do to benefit my music and also have some sort of schooling degree that everyone will shut up about and be like, yeah, you went to school, good. You know?
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that in your post. I was like, that must be what he's doing, because all of a sudden you were like a graphic designer. I'm like,
yeah.
Like maybe he's learning that for that.
Yeah, it's initially what I was doing, but then I'm like really starting to understand and appreciate design and being a graphic designer, and just really want to not create my own, but sort of help other people create their own vision.
True.
So I want to get into branding and identity design.
Okay.
But because branding,
like branding a little bit,
I guess, yeah, but like it's very like different, I guess.
You could work alongside people in branding.
Yeah. Kind of, but I do also want to work in an ad agency, because so far, like, I didn't want to take advertising, but I ended up taking it because it was like my way to get into art direction.
Okay.
And take those classes. So I started taking advertising, and now I'm realizing, like, I feel I'm pretty good at advertising. Some of my stuff.
Really?
Like, yeah. The messages get across, where like other people, it's just like same old advertisements, like eat here. I'm like, okay. You know, like, but then I question myself when I look around, and I'm like, why are there so many bad advertisements when there's so many people who want to do such good advertisements? But my teachers have told me it's mostly just the marketing team and the people who want to pay, opposed to, like, doesn't matter. Like, they don't see the appreciation to design.
Yeah.
So, like, in the end game, I just want to have clients that appreciate design, I guess. And I don't know if I'll work somewhere or own my own place or try to create my own place. Like, I'd like to.
Just do both. You ever listen to Gary Vee?
Yeah.
It's both. He always says both.
Yeah.
Just do both.
It's true.
You do one, you learn, and then jump on the other.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was planning to do, but, like, not at the same time, because I don't think I could. Right now, I'm just trying to learn all the clerical and administrative parts of running a freelance company.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, the clerical.
Yeah. All that shit. Where, like,
clerical stuff.
I hate filling out paperwork.
Yeah.
But who doesn't, right?
Yeah. Just thinking about it makes me, like, all like, ugh.
Unless you're like Hermes from Futurama.
Right.
You know, and he's just like, oh, yeah, paperwork.
He loves it.
Yeah.
Man. So what other what could I ask somebody, like, as a creative, what can I ask in terms of creativity that can really conjure up some insights?
Well, like, I don't know. Give me an example of the next person you're supposed to interview. Like.
Man, just put it. How dare you? Oh.
It's over.
Come on, you can't do this right now.
It's your siren, you know? But, like, a basic example of, like, the artist, tattoo artist, what are they, like, are they a music artist? What do they do?
I would just say...
Or just give me, it doesn't have to be that person, just give me any example. Like,
I was just going to put it to you.
Okay, so if it was me, I guess, and I'm just thinking to myself, that's kind of hard to do, because I don't know what I would want to be asked necessarily.
You don't?
No, it's very hard to know what you want to be asked. That's why, like, I guess there's, like, therapists, right? They ask you questions until you get it out of yourself, and you're like, oh, shit. You know, I didn't notice that.
True.
But, what would I creatively want to talk about? Obviously, like I said, they're idols and inspirations, but that's obvious. Man, I can think about it more, but I don't want to keep dead air going on while I try to think about it. You know what I mean?
I like how you know about dead air.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna stand here and there's just, like, chirps and crickets in the background.
Everybody's staring at you.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, so I can't really think of.
Yeah, it's hard to.
But what I can do is, like, after thinking about this, and, like, once I mull it over and I think of something, I can definitely message you with it.
Yeah, do it. Because I need those questions.
For sure.
Now
Like, I'll definitely brainstorm and think about it. But, like, right now, being put on the spot, I'm like, But then I don't want to think here too long, like, all silently, like, while we're just sitting here.
True.
Unless you had one of those, like, cricket buttons. You should get those. It's like,
I know,
eh? Like,
a little soundboard.
Yeah, it just lets people know that they're just like, come on, man. Yeah. Maybe you'll have, like, soon enough, one of those people who's just sitting over there with a soundboard waiting to do shit.
Yeah, Howard Stern has one of those guys.
Yeah, I know.
Name's Fred.
Awesome.
Fred, yeah. He's been at it for a while. But I guess I'm gonna have to figure that out. The creativity questions.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure.
I'm trying to gear it all towards creativity now, and slowly. I feel like this conversation is like a real bridger. It just really bridged the way things have been going to where I want to see them go.
Sweet. Yeah, that's good then.
That's actually amazing.
I'm just like very angry that I can't think of like a good question right now. I'm like,
it's hard to think of questions.
Yeah.
Believe me.
That's why it's not my job and it's yours. But I definitely will try to help. I just can't think of anything immediately. Like I said, like the idol thing, I do think is good for the values and what people want to. Creatively.
I was actually gonna ask you. I guess this can be like the last question because we gotta go. I gotta bring you somewhere. Yeah. But do you think how important is it for the creative to be broken? Like, how important is it for creativity to be expressing itself through somebody who's like been through some fucked up shit? Because usually, if you analyze any creative, they've been through some shit.
Yeah. How important do I feel that is?
Yeah, like, is that always a thing that you see as well? Do you have that and feel that that's pushed you at all? Like,
I could say that it has, but like that'd be kind of weird because my sister and brother have both experienced what I've experienced too, to the same kind of level. But like, my brother's creative, but like my sister's like she's also creative, but she's not what she wanted to do, or like she'd rather go into the doctoring field and stuff. Yeah. So I can't say for sure that it just comes with people who have like emotional stress or trauma, or that it makes it any better than art that isn't. But I feel, unfortunately, that people will criticize it once they find out, oh, this person's been born with a silver spoon. He didn't have any trauma, he didn't cut his ear off or like try to drown himself 800 times, But like, I don't know why that should matter. So I don't know. It's at the same time, I do think it should for some reason in my mind. I'm like, but it should matter. Yeah. But like, I don't know why it should. It really shouldn't, right? Like, it's just discrimination for no reason. It's guilt by association. Just because you haven't been through times that like.
Well, there is that, because like I even feel like that sometimes when I learn about certain people. I'm like, oh, you didn't go through shit.
No, I don't know if it translates into better artwork. We'd have to look at correlation between, I guess, like all the art that maybe you like, and whether or not all those people or any of them have been through trauma. Yeah, and if they haven't, then you'd be like, oh, that's weird.
Usually, yeah, that's true.
And I don't mean necessarily the most famous ones, because it seems like all of them have like a good backstory of trauma or something like that.
That's what.
But like Brandon says, like that stuff's kind of, it seems like, curated to teach you what they want to be teaching you, right? I don't necessarily agree with that, but if you were looking at it on that end, then the people are only doing that so they can see that they can teach something that they want, like their narrative. Yeah. But I'd find it very hard to believe that there would be only the great artists that have turmoil or trauma. Yeah. Like, I'm sure there are other people who might not have trauma that are just amazing artists that might have not have gone through anything, that have just. But that's all between the connection, I guess, between life experiences and art. And that's the thing. Like, if you've been through trauma, chances are you've experienced more than the norm. And I guess it translates into more of, I guess, a different vision and insight to how you use what you want to use and how you want to communicate it.
Yeah, I guess if you go through more, well, maybe, but like, I guess going through more makes you want to express yourself more. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, no, that would make sense to me, at least. Why wouldn't it? Like, I want to voice my opinion on what I've just experienced. I want to get it out there somehow. True. But it'd be interesting to look up, though, if there's like a huge correlation and a huge like.
I was having a conversation with somebody. We were at dinner, and that came up. Yeah, he brought that up, and I was just I was pondering that. So I guess
it's an interesting question. It's just like it's very hard to. Obviously, they're all just opinions, so I don't have to worry. But like, of course, every time a question's asked, I'm like, what's the factual answer to this? And I'm like, wait a second, we're just going on opinions here. Yeah, but. Yeah, I don't know if it matters, but if it makes a work better, that's still to be seen, and I'd have to research that more to be able to even say that. Yeah. Like, if maybe you've seen, like, the person who did this, they go through trauma?
I don't know. Yeah. I have to ask them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Because, like, like, when I say that, I always talk about the most famous ones, because, like, that's who you can really see and examine. Yeah. But, yeah.
People cut their ears off, etc. It's the only one I really know. Like, I know that.
Man, Anderson Cooper, he started his career because his brother committed suicide.
Oh, shit.
And he decided to go to war-torn countries and, like, impersonate press. Yeah. And, like, he would just go over there and just cover shit. And
Anderson Cooper's the man. Yeah. He's, like, one of my favorite people. That's him, and Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah. That was his thing. And Robin Williams always thought he wasn't that funny.
Really?
Yeah. Pushes you, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
That's weird. All right, what time is it?
It's 8, I think.
So that's when you have to go, no?
I think so. Or is it 7? I might not know how to read my watch, or it's off. I think it's off because I didn't change it.
No, it's 7:57.
Oh, okay, so it is 8.
Yeah.
Got it right, everybody. I know how to read the watch.
All right, so let's get you back.
Right.
Back to Thornhill?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, sick. Well, thank you so much.
Sometime when you need it.
Yeah, you down?
Yeah, for sure. It was really fun. Jokes. It's fun to talk.
You want to be one of those filler guys for me?
What filler guys?
Like Joe Rogan. Like he has Joey Diaz.
Like a side dude. Depending on my availability, yeah. I don't see why the hell not. It'd be fun.
Cool.
Fill some dead air here and there.
Right.
Switch screens between whatever you need, or
true.
I don't know, depending on the platform or whatever you decide to use.
You could be like young Jamie.
I don't know who that is.
We have to get you well versed. All right, guys. Take it easy. We're out.
Have a good one. Thanks for watching.
Oh, no. Wait.
Or not.
Social medias. Do you got anything
yeah.
get out there? Anything? Websites, projects, anything?
Just, I guess my social media would be Grossman Sounds. I think it is GROSSMAN Sounds SOUNDS.
Perfect.
And that's just my Instagram, and I'm sure through that you can find me on other things.
There you go.
Yeah.
Done deal.
I'm sure my name will be in the description or wherever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right, peace. Thanks for listening.